Inside scratch, inside itch, one of the two. Okay. Right. Hey, hello, everybody. Welcome this evening. Hope everybody's here and having a good day. Corvo, and of course, we have a guest today. We have Stealthy Elf again. Welcome back, Stealthy. We're very much glad to see you back here again with us, and hope you're having a good time with us. So, for everybody here that's not, maybe new, we're not gonna go too much into the spill here. We're gonna jump right into it. And I'm pretty sure all of us have maybe seen it. If anybody has not seen the Mortal Kombat movie, maybe spoiler warnings. Just put it out there. If anybody else wants to see us do a review on the Mortal Kombat movie, if you're interested in that kind of thing and would like us to do a review on it to see whether or not you want to see it, spoiler free or not spoiler free, we could try it either way. We're definitely jump into that right now. So before I go into my spiel, y'all saw the movie the day it released. Now, did y'all see it in regular theaters or IMAX? Okay, so y'all had a good time with it. I saw an IMAX, and I had to say, the IMAX that near us. Correct me if I'm wrong here. I thought IMAX is supposed to be like almost like a 180 display, perfect surround sound. I didn't get that. I went to an IMAX, and I got like a normal size theater screen with like half-ass surround sound. I'm like, this is IMAX? Yeah, I got jits. I'm like, this no way. This is not IMAX. It's like, it's IMAX clarity. I'm like, I was watching some of the trailers. I'm like, if this is IMAX, I'm blind because I see so much, I see pixels everywhere. I literally saw the pixels in the images. Not even joking. Yeah, so I'm like, I was not happy about that. Let me just say that. So I try not to let that sway my first reaction to the movie. And I did say, Scorpion scene. I didn't see it myself. My wife kind of cheated. They apparently aired it on YouTube. The first 5 minutes of the movie or something like that on YouTube of the Scorpion thing. Loved the Scorpion thing, and I was not dissatisfied in how Scorpion died. I feel like that's about right. It's about right. How do you feel like the Scorpion was panning out throughout the movie? Yeah, yeah. And do y'all feel like that the way he did come back? Trying to spoil here. Do you think the way he came back was a clever or unique way of him coming back at that very moment that he was needed? Well, you know who he makes a deal with, and the guy's like, "Yeah, you're free to go back get your revenge, but once you're done, you're my slave for the rest of your life. Well, soul life." So, and my wife's like, "Oh, he's done now. He just leaves." I'm like, "He's not done. He's not done. There's no way he's done." Yeah. Now, how do you feel knowing that Sub-Zero, admits that he killed Scorpion? Yeah, but in the lore, I know it's a bit of the thing you're pulling from the originals. It's not really It's not really Sub-Zero. It's somebody disguised. Yeah. Yeah, they definitely made him the primary villain of the series. Well, he was a puppet of the other guy. Yeah, or his. Mhm. Okay, I don't remember. I definitely don't remember the deal they made. Go ahead, Stealthy. Yeah, he takes on the name after a while. It's like, I'm no longer so and so. I am now Sub-Zero. I'm like, okay, good line, I guess. Yeah, that's very dramatic line right there. But I had to say, Sub-Zero from that character, he has to be the. Yeah. Oh shoot! Did that happen again? Okay, say something. Why aren't you being picked up right now? I have full max volume right now. I'm glad she's here, cause give me a second. You are. Mm, mm,
¿Qué pasó?
Hang on.
Yeah.
give me a second. I'm trying to see.
Right, hold on, chat. We're trying to work through an issue.
Okay, try that.
Can you hear me now? Hello.
I'm gonna try this. Okay.
What's up?
Oh shit!
Hey.
Now you're super loud. Oh goodness gracious.
Hello.
Okay, I got vocals on my end.
Okay. Mom, if you're watching, let me know if you can hear me.
I didn't see nothing in the chat. Did she message you?
Yeah, she's watching on her TV, so she texted my phone.
Okay, so quick overcap. Sub-Zero, when he killed Scorpion, he wasn't really. He was a different name. And let's see, they wanted audience to have a different perspective on the Mortal Kombat. They may be new to it by changing a few things here and there about how Scorpion died. And then let's see, what was the other thing we had a conversation about? I want to catch up real fast here. Shoot, was that it?
Yeah,
That's pretty much it.
Okay, so I have to say,
it was very dramatic when he said he was Sub-Zero.
Like, I am no longer blah 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 blah. I am Sub-Zero. So I had to say though, and I know you probably won't agree with me on this one too. Sub-Zero has to be one of the worst assassins that I've ever seen when it comes to being stealthy.
Yeah, we're good now on audio. Yeah, I know, right? Like, if I had his abilities, there's no way in hell he would have got away at that restaurant.
Yeah, but
I'd have just popped up behind him and shoved an icicle through him and called it a day.
Yeah, but why go Jack Frost?
Well, but
I get it.
I'm pretty sure that what my wife is going to say is the fact that he was very arrogant. So him making that grand entrance and stuff very much plays to his narcissism.
But no one knew about him other than Jax, right? Kind of.
Yeah, but you have to think about this. Think about the very first part of the movie. Nobody knew he was there originally. He announced himself.
Right. That's
like, hey, I'm here.
That's the whole point. He's very narcissistic. Nobody knew about him. He wanted them to know about him.
How is your name going to be spread about if nobody knows?
Well, that you're a ninja. You're not supposed to be known. You're supposed to be the guy that goes kills.
Yeah.
To be known
he wants to be good at being. He wants to be good at fighting, but he also wants to be famous.
Well, I'm about to say, like most people that are are known because their victims get away and they go tell people about it. It's like we know
let's
that's
be honest. If he was doing real ninja tactics, there would be nobody would know him because nobody's getting away from a sudden icicle through the heart.
yeah.
I mean, your name doesn't get out there unless you're seen in his occupation because he's too good at what he could do.
Yeah, so I feel like that was and I get the narcissism, but I feel like it was a little too
Well,
traumatic for,
the
and
whole
especially
thing was
one
that other
time,
people who
two
were
times,
trying to fix
and then let the truck drive away. It's like, why not just freeze it in place, or put an ice wall up underneath it, or anything to let him not drive away. And then he's like, down the hall, I'm waiting for you. Are you coming? Oh, now you're coming into the room. It's like,
But
So-
you have to think about it. It's like if you're a narcissistic person,
Mhm.
granted, me and you, we're not. That's how we think.
we get at
But
him.
if you're narcissistic, you want people to look at you. You want, hey,
Attention.
attention on me right now. If you let someone who's not your target see you get away, that means that your name gets spread about. You'll get famous. Once people know that you're after them, they start being terrified. That's kind of he's that type of a person.
So, okay, I have to ask this because I want to see if you agree with me. Favorite fatality?
Ooh, hat.
Yes, yes,
Hat.
yes. Because everybody so thought that he was SOL. He had lost his hat. He was fixed to get his butt whooped, and he's like, "Let me show you this trick I can do with this hat."
Okay. He only used his teleporting move at the very beginning of him showing up, which he jumped out, does a little kick, spin around, flip move. I'm like, that was pointless. Just look cool, I guess, but whatever. And then he did it again that when he came to help Liu Kang, when he was getting his butt whooped or about to get his butt whooped. That was it. He didn't use it one time during actual combat. Like, why not during combat? That's
You have to know where your opponent's going to go. You're going to have to know exactly where they're going to be because otherwise you're going to end up being there and you're going to be disoriented.
In the tournament, it would have made sense because you're in basically a ring. There's
He
only
was in a ring.
set places you're gonna go, so you can teleport relatively easily.
Mhm.
But in an open field like that, teleporting might not be a good idea because you may think he's going left and teleport over there, and his ass went right, and
now you're
somebody else is standing behind a pillar to shank you. You know.
It was always a move in the game where you could just teleport behind them and then try to uppercut them or something like that. They didn't pay attention or fast enough. And also,
Yeah, think about it. He was against the Harpy.
yeah.
How are you going to teleport to the Harpy?
But
The Harpy's in the air.
I wouldn't teleport to the Harpy. I'll teleport to the guy that's sitting there on his ass, literally not moving.
He's going by tournament rules. He's not thinking about the fact that
Sure, he's a good guy. He's trying to do it right.
Oh, fuck that. Dude's playing dirty. I'm playing dirty too.
Yep.
They all the good guys were playing by
I
rules.
will say one of the things that I was happy about is they explained the new guy.
Yeah.
They explained him because I was totally like, who the freak is this dude? But then after the explanation, I'm like, oh, okay. So I see what they're setting this up for.
I thought at the very beginning of the movie, I seriously, I kept on seeing, he kept saying, release me, release me, release me. And my brain was going, is he inside the new guy's body? And he's gonna become Scorpion? Is that I thought they were going that angle. I'm like, is he Scorpion? Just Scorpion's inside of his body? If so, I'm down with this. Let's get it. But that was not the case. I like the Tonfas.
Yes.
Tonfas, cool. One bladed, one blunt.
Yes.
Totally down for that. But he gets his ass beat to be powerful. I'm like,
I get that because it plays. They were trying to say that the Arcanas were based off of the
personality.
The personality, and he didn't remember when they first introduced him.
He could take a beating.
He could take a beating. That was what he was doing. I mean, not that he couldn't fight, but he had stopped wanting to win, basically.
Yeah.
So he had been in this mindset of taking a beating for so long, it made sense that you beat on him and then your own shit comes back on you. I mean, because Goro just, he screwed himself when he hit that bitch as hard as he could. I was like, oh, that's bad.
Yeah, I definitely wanted more Goro. I definitely wanted more Goro because that dude has over tens of thousands of years of combat training, 10 different types of martial arts skills. Because I know a lot of stuff about Goro, and I feel like that was way too, that there should have been a lot more to it. I know he was outside of a tournament, but I feel like that Goro was
You also have to
way
take
too
into
short.
account that not everything that you get trained for comes into effect when you're fighting. Sometimes it's something different that you're not expecting. For example, home dude suddenly getting armor.
Well, he's also won like
You know?
9 different tournaments for the for the other guy's realm. So he has experience with dealing with the new people's abilities. So
Yeah.
he should have been able to overcome, okay, this guy can take a punch, and when he takes a punch, he's gonna hit me harder. So I need to make it
Bro,
a quicker.
I only did that once and it didn't quite make sense.
I don't think that was actually Goro. I don't think it was. After the very end when all of them turned into a dust cloud of shadow, I don't think that was Goro.
I do think so, only from the aspect that that's when he came through, you didn't originally see him, but home dude did call him by that.
Well,
I'm very
yeah,
honored you did win X amount, blah 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 blah
but
blah.
all of them turned into shadow afterwards too.
Yeah.
I tell you though, go ahead.
I was gonna say the other thing is in the movie they do show a kind of like they have like screenshots of the different fights. You remember that?
Yeah.
Remember, he was the one that, granted, he has all this training, but he's more for showing off to the crowd. So he was aiming to probably rip him apart, not to use his martial arts training.
Yeah, he was
ended up
definitely
getting
trying to
attacked.
rip his head off.
Yeah.
So another thing that I was pleasantly surprised with is old girl's mouth did open like you wanted it to.
Eventually, yeah, that was, and it did get fangs, so there were fangs there. But she went all berserker mode. This is like, okay, she lost her cool. Apparently, mouth is open. That's why so much blood, though it's supposed to be like that all the time. And then fangs finally show up. So I'm like, okay, got that finally. And of course, y'all had to say, I cannot, this one, you don't. Remember at the beginning, they said all your abilities will be unlocked in the ring?
Yeah.
None of their abilities were locked in the ring. They were
Yep.
all unlocked by emotions.
Yep. Well, the ring was supposed to bring out those emotions. That's why they told them that. They weren't anticipating having to deal with dumb shit because somebody was going to break the rules.
Well, one person got unlocked because he got pissed off because they made fun of him. Another one had to get their abilities because they had to save somebody. Another one had to save the family, which that's an old cliche. That's a very old cliche. Main character gets his ability when family is in danger. I feel like it's a little bit of an old cliche.
You forget that freaking ability since before that. It's just
He didn't get that ability beforehand. He got that ability.
No, she was saying she was expecting it though.
like
Oh,
after
yeah.
they explained that Karna thing. Think about it. He had his family.
In danger
in the
multiple
car.
times.
Yes. It wasn't until she basically almost died.
Well,
that he finally
Goro was right in her face.
The other thing that I loved was how they all talked down to Sonya. But
except for
as
the
soon
two
as she
guys.
killed a home dude, it didn't take her but a few minutes to find her shit.
Yeah, no idea how she got hers. Just like, oh, I have it now, and I one-shot kill a very mainstay character. One-shot kill.
I love the fact I could see her spine though.
Yeah, that was very cool. But it was a one-shot kill. No action.
What else are we gonna do? Like, you're missing your heart. And like,
Let her fight a little bit.
your body.
Let her fight. Let her like put up something. Rather than just one shot kill. Like that was, and of course, Jax loved him, but hammer broke, smash head. Literally the shortest combat fight, the entire thing, and General Dude, whatever his name was, had no play in the game. That was way too short. Way too short.
You're thinking about it like the fight was only that short. You're not thinking about the fact that they did flip through the different fights as they kept going.
Yeah, they flipped through it and flipped it back to make it seem like it's longer. It literally was starting back where they were at when the combat was switched. So like you didn't miss anything. There was no more kicks, no more punches, no more. This literally was this frame stopped it, and it came right back to that same frame and continued on.
Remember, he didn't snap the hammer until after. It took a.
Hey, Pesty.
Literally took 30 seconds. 30 seconds.
I'm gonna tell you though, them things work.
Oh yeah, I love that line. That line was great. Like, oh yeah, these things work. What is that ability? Is it a like what's that called when you're able to control like robotics? Does anybody know what I'm talking about here? Like,
I'm not.
The closest thing I can think is not cybernetics, but
okay, but like, what happened if he still had his real arm? Would that like pop out his real arm and go full cyborg? Or
I don't know.
think so.
I think it's all based on your emotions, and his emotions were all about his arms at the moment because of that.
Okay, he wanted stronger and more robust arms, I guess. And I guess
right.
I guess
so I feel like he'd have had a different ability had his arms not been ripped off.
Gotcha. I would probably agree with that. Just a little. I was curious because he's always had that robotic arm. Like, would it wrapped around his arm then, and then like I'm just curious what would have happened if he had his arm. But I know this one thing. Oh, also the hat thing. Remember you talked about the hat that would pass the dude's head, and he could call it back, right? Why did he not just call it back to the back of the dude's head? There's a thought there.
He wasn't the opponent.
Wait, he was making him his opponent. He's like, you're beneath me.
Like, he was not the opponent. That's the problem.
He should have been, because he was calling him out. It's like, I want you. Nope, you're not getting me. You're getting my bird friend that will immediately get a flawless victory on. I love that part. That was definitely my favorite. Now, who was that one person that you said that I thought would die, didn't die, Stealthy? I remember we talked about that during Jax.
That was you said in the trailer. I remember you when you did the video. You said something about a random dude that just died.
That was Sonya, or is it Sonya Blades? Her partner, old partner. Jack's not her old partner. She's a person that's her trainer. Her actual partner was never introduced or even brought up in the movie.
Okay,
so we don't know who.
My second favorite death had to be the garden gnome to the eye.
Oh yeah, the one he loogied on.
Yeah, I love that. That was so poetic. I was like, yes.
Do you think he actually died?
That's the only way the mark transfers.
I know, but
because that's how Jax got his.
But I will say, I'm leaving it open for all of them to have died, but Shang Tsung to be able to resurrect them.
Yeah. Maybe resurrection probably a good way to go about it. I just like he has a mechanical eye. That's his staple, and like that'd be give a good excuse to making a mechanical eye because she just garden gnomed his eye. So it's like, okay, well now since she just garden gnomed his eye, mechanical eye, bam, problem solved. That's how he gets it.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like all those characters are going to be resurrected.
I feel like like again, my theory is the shadows that he was turning all of them into when he was saying, "Don't worry, you may kill my men, but I'll return with an army." They were shooting from to sites where the people all just died. They were all turning to shadows. I feel like either he was like taking their bodies, or they were all shadows of his creation, and he was just using that as a like, hey, let me see if they can kill him, but not be the actual them. Because
then that wouldn't make sense with Sub-Zero.
Yeah, because some like Sub-Zero's case, you can't have a shadow clone actually be able to throw ice. I mean, that's a taught and learned ability only in that clan.
Gotcha. Well,
So
yeah, I can see that. So he had to take the bodies. Of course, there's always
yeah,
more than one Sub-Zero. So
Well, that's because the clan didn't.
die.
yeah, that's true. That's true as well.
So even if he did take that body, and that was like the one body he didn't have like a clone of, who cares? Guess more. There's a whole freaking clan army of those guys. He could easily or manipulate one of them into, hey, you do this or your clan dies. You do this, your clan dies. You do this or your clan dies. Until he runs out of clan members.
Honestly, I think what really was great when we watched the movie in our place
Mhm.
is that we had a group of everybody. Everybody was quiet. Like they were just quiet. You could hear pins drop if you wanted to. And like when certain parts happen, like the Kano fight that you're talking about, when she finally murks his ass, everybody starts clapping. Everybody's like so happy.
I don't remember that character, not Kano, but the gargoyle chick. I don't know who she is. Do you know? Because
she was in later combats.
Okay, because I had like no clue she was. I'm like, who?
Tell you what I loved was the moment that Sub-Zero knew he was in deep shit was when that fucking kunai went through his shoulder and he heard, "Get over here!" He's like, "Fuck, that's not what I wanted to hear."
Well, he didn't hear that first. He's seen the kunai, realized what it was, and goes, "Oh crap!" You see it in his face, and he's like, "I gotta kill this one before the other one shows up." And by the time he went like that, it was too late.
Yeah, I feel like Scorpion was a better ninja. He came out of nowhere, surprised, butt sex. It wasn't a hey, let me walk in through magical, do a bunch of fire everywhere, and go, hey, I'm here, let's have some fun. No, he's like, I'm gonna assassinate you. I'm gonna get you over here. That was just much better of a ninja. And of course, I feel like there should have been much more Scorpion. I would like him to came in a little earlier, but I get the whole thematical of this blade and needing blood, and he'll be released, and there's your out.
It
right
is.
there.
Lord.
Yes, it is, Lord.
Some spoilers.
There's yeah, we're not going full on, but yeah, we're doing just some things there are. So
I like the ending though between Sub-Zero and Scorpion. I was so happy about that.
yeah. Since he found out ways of like they include on how he had that ability, and
Yeah,
that was nice. It wasn't just a, oh, by the way. Of course, you put the mask on after it happened, after the whole thing, and then he puts it right back, and everything is back to normal. It's like,
it's supposed to be. I mean, that's what it's supposed to do.
it's like, just trick him. It's like, oh, I get it. I'd rather him that kept it. Like, you need to pull it off and have the face still. The kid's like, ah. Start talking like that. He's like, oh yeah, I forgot about that. Sorry.
If he had to do it again, I'm probably sure it's probably going to do it again. It's one of those things that it takes time to regenerate. I mean, think about what the skill that he used was, because you remember what he said it was. So
yeah, so I feel like that was a missed opportunity for a little bit of comedy. I thought that would have been funny. Couldn't you understand Scorpion? He was talking. And could the other guy understand him? That was never explained. Like, could he? When he was talking to Japanese?
I have no idea.
Like, that was never explained.
The first Sub-Zero was talking first in Chinese to see if they understood.
Yeah.
Because if you were watching, that's what they did. And then he swapped to Japanese.
Yeah.
To make sure that they did understand what he was saying.
No, he's talking about the new guy, his descendant. Did the descendant understand him because he was from modern times?
He had to have, because he told the kid, watch over the family line. He said, "Okay."
I don't remember saying okay. I remember him say, this was mine, and then he just looks at him and and walks toward his family.
Well, okay. So after the fight was done, he looked at the guy because he was about, poop. And he goes like, "Take care of them." And then he goes, Okay. And he goes, poof.
I don't know, I feel like he maybe like was understanding him in like I get what you're trying to say here. Don't know what you're saying, but I get what you're trying to say here. Okay, bye. It's not explained. Of course, the writer of the movie, and I didn't tell you all this. One writer was brand new. The other one was the writer of Wonder Woman 1984. One of the
Okay.
most hated movies of all time.
I haven't seen it yet.
I haven't either.
It has horror reviews. I seen it myself, and I will say I feel like the entire thing, though I watched it from start to end, and I know very little about Wonder Woman, very little.
Mm.
I did not enjoy any minute of it. I kept on watching because I kept on thinking I could maybe enjoy it at some point. I have zero idea about Wonder Woman, no clue about her. So everything that happened, I was like, this is not entertaining. And a lot of people hate the movie, even those that are new to Wonder Woman. Feel like the writer did a horrible job. I don't really know. I just know that he was one of the writers in this movie, not a director, a writer. So he wasn't really the one directing the movie. What do you think about Luke Cage's actor? Be honest now.
I wasn't real impressed with him.
I'm not quite sure which ones that was.
That was Fireboy.
That pretty much became a designated heater at the very end of the movie.
Yeah, I don't dislike his appearance. I feel like he more got shorted on what he was to do in the movie.
I have the feeling more like it's not so much that he got shorted out on it. It's like he himself was saying that he didn't feel like he was a part of what needed to happen. He just happened to fall into this. And even though he found his arcana and everything, he still felt on the outskirts until, well, you know what happened.
Yeah, till he got it. He got the mark himself, and then he got it.
No, because the only way to get the arcana is if you have the mark. But I was referring to. Remember, he didn't really he did his best, but he really wasn't in it.
Yeah, we're talking about mostly the actor itself.
I mean,
the acting
was fine. I mean, a lot of people, what they're taking into account with a lot of the movies nowadays too, is what I'm thinking, is they're so used to these really, really good movies. They don't just take it for what it is. So, I mean, you're not always going to have the best actors. You're not always going to have the best special effects and stuff. I think he did fine. Then again, I don't know this actor. I don't know how he was supposed to act or any of that. He seemed fine for the type of character he was supposed to be to me.
Mm-hmm.
So, to me, yes, he's supposed to be standoffish. He's not supposed to just, here, let me be your best friend. You know? He wasn't arrogant either.
He's supposed to be a little bit arrogant, though.
Yeah, but that was the point. He was supposed to come off a little arrogant. He was supposed to be a certain way,
and was arrogant with Kano.
I don't know if it was because of the way the movie was written, and that's the best he could do. I mean, I don't know, but I do feel like he fell a little short in portraying the character, and I don't know if that's his fault as an actor or the writer's fault.
I would say it's probably the writer, because the lines.
Yeah, I would lean towards the writer, because as far as, the physical build, his appearance, and all that stuff, he fit to me for that.
Yeah.
And he was arrogant to Kano and to the other dude when they were trying to do their he was just arrogant to Kano from the beginning anyway. But
I just feel like he got gypped on the writing end.
Yeah, he should have been very much more pompous.
Yes.
He's supposed to be a guy that's a wonderful martial artist that's been in a martial arts monk since almost a child, and he has a fire ability, and he's He's supposed to have a lot more confidence in himself, and I feel like he had no confidence.
Here's the story that they gave at the beginning.
I know he was an orphan.
Orphan and all that. Yeah, you don't just become confident off of that shit, especially not if you get caught stealing.
Since we're talking about Mortal Kombat, I will show off this real quick. So, guys, this is what the Sub-Zero mask.
How long that mask take to make?
50 hours.
50 hours. Goodness gracious. I bet you
Now,
probably
But
would.
that's how you get the detail, though, man.
I
if
know.
you speed it up.
I bet with all those support that was on it, you could probably make another one of those masks.
Go ahead and put it around your face, though. So it fits him perfectly fine.
Yeah.
It fits great. Now watch this. Hand it to me.
It's like engulfing your head.
That's what, yeah, it's what it's fun to do, so.
Yeah, like it's like way below your chin. It's engulfing your entire neck almost.
So that's kind of like there. Yeah, there you go. Like this is the top of my cheek.
Almost your entire ear too. God, it'd make you a horrible assassin too, because you couldn't hear shit. So yeah, I enjoy the movie. I would give it probably. I know y'all probably score a little higher. I would say for me, since I know a little bit more of the characters and more of the background, and yes, it is hard for me to pull away from a old viewer to a new viewer. I feel like but the best line has to be when they're in the middle realm. You know, we can't give up. Very compelling. Very compelling. We can't give up. I had to give it maybe a 7. Like a soft 7.
Oh, he said we can't give up, and then they're just looking at him like, well, what are we supposed to do? And that's when he had to come up with.
They all like they went, oh, we can't give up. Kane looked up. I'm like, oh, I'm like, that was not compelling speech. We should split them up. Okay. Fight them. You know, they don't want a tournament. We'll make a tournament. I'm like, this is not a very bad writing on that end. I feel like they could have been a lot more motivation. And of course, he was the first one to give up too.
However, I love the fact that even though one character wore a mask, you can still almost visually see his face go, I'm fucked.
Yeah.
Right when the fatality is about to happen. When that fucking fire dragon showed up, he looked up, and I can just imagine under that mask going, oh shit.
He did. He said,
why didn't I would have been if I had that ability, that would have been my first move to start off with. Just put it out there. My first move would have been dragon.
Yeah. And you wanna talk about people not watching the movie? Your movie would last like 5 minutes.
I know.
You gotta remember they're writing something for you to watch.
It was already so short. Why not make one other fight really short too? Let's speed run this baby.
like, you wanted to complain about him being arrogant. He was so arrogant that he didn't need to use his best ability.
Now, I will say something that I call complete bullshit on. Is the fact that Kano was able to break Raiden's staff.
Yeah. Okay. He leaves it at the middle. He leaves it on a shelf, open, unguarded, with a known felon that Lord Raiden could see right through his soul the moment he met him. And he just left it out in the open.
Well, it's not just that. I mean, it's a fucking divine weapon. No little fighter arcana is gonna break a divine weapon.
But also, you don't leave a divine weapon out for anyone to go toy with.
Well, you've also to think it's what's powering the entire thing. He can't tote it with him everywhere.
He was when he first did it.
Yeah, because he had to then put it in so that it would power. That was to initially block them all.
I still say that he shouldn't have been able to break it.
Yeah, but it should have been like in the device, not on a shelf.
It was a device technically if you looked at it.
Yeah, I looked at it multiple times.
Into the walls.
No, it was a little shelving of concrete or rock on little pegs holding it up like it was a display piece.
That's not how they power stuff.
You think the pegs were connected to it?
She's saying that the pegs were the conductors, but I mean that has nothing to do with the fact that a mortal with a little arcana power broke a divine weapon. That is such bullshit.
Made by a god.
Yeah.
Why didn't nobody guarding it? I still would have had someone guarding it. At least another monk. You know, there's plenty of monks around. Just have somebody just sitting there just going, no one mess with this if this could be destroyed.
Maybe 3 other monks. If you looked at the movie, there was maybe 3 other monks. And they were all on jacks trying to make sure he was okay.
Well, yeah, but the whole temple was full of monks. There was monks walking everywhere. Unless there's only 3 in the entire place and they just kept on using the same person to do, like, you know, they were the same people in the backdrop moving around. Like, I can maybe see that, but I feel like that'd be a little cheesy that, you know, every time they walk around, there's another monk, but it's the same monk you saw before, and you walk around another.
Remember, he said that it had declined. There weren't many people left.
Okay,
so
I get that.
It wouldn't make any sense for a bunch of monks to be around. Like, oh well, it's declining, but we have like 20 or 50 monks over here.
Mm.
I was like, when that shit happened, I was like, there's no way in hell. No way. And first off, knowing Raiden and his disposition, he will stay out of shit for as long as possible, but when you touch his personal shit, things get crazy.
Mm-hmm.
The fact that he didn't strike his ass down with a thunderbolt right then was just, I was like, huh?
Because he had already swapped sides.
Don't matter. I just still struck his ass down. I'd be like, you broke my shit.
What did you say? He keeps to the rules. He does not break the rules.
Until a certain line is crossed. And breaking his shit is one of those lines.
Yeah.
He was a champion for the other dude, though.
It doesn't matter.
That'd have been the opening for the other dude.
Okay, so the canon says that the real Raiden would have fucking murked him. That's how Raiden ends up becoming a mortal.
Yeah.
He broke the rules and his powers were taken. That's how he ends up becoming a mortal.
And then again,
when did he break the rules?
When people messed with his shit.
Well, messed with his champions, but also he did like teleport a bunch of people, right? A lot of the bad guys around at one point, right?
That's true.
So why didn't he? Why not do that when they first all showed up and went, okay, you don't want to fight by the rules? We'll make a tournament and then start teleporting them everywhere.
If you notice, it takes a moment for it to work.
It was almost instantaneous when they were first fighting. What they do, put a portal in front of them, and then all the bad guys go, okay, I'm gonna walk into it. No, the bad guys didn't go there by choice. Raiden made them.
Remember, he was taking the champions away. And it took more than a second. And they were able to stop one of the guys, and so the other guy stepped out of his to help him.
What? I definitely do not remember that, because he gave them choice of going through one of them, but at sometimes he could literally banish the evil guy at the very beginning within a moment. Poof, gone. So he's doing that to the other guys, teleporting them around so they can separate them so they can all fight them one-on-one. Why not do that at the very beginning when they first were not maybe behind the shield wall?
I don't know. Maybe it just wasn't something he thought of. I mean, I don't know.
That would have been good time to do it.
He didn't instantly transport them though, because if you can look at their faces when they first came in, the bad guys, they were like, "What the fuck happened?"
Yeah, because they were zapped in. They was, poof, you're here now. Fight this guy.
But he might have. What he could have done was he could have just zapped him to stun him temporarily so that he could transport him. You know, he is
could have done that too.
Lightning and thunder.
Yeah, but then he'd be stun them and they'd be fighting them, and that would be breaking the rules.
Not necessarily, because he's not starting to fight. He's just stunning them long enough to get them to where they have to fight. Because remember, he waited until they were there, let them kind of get a sense of their bearings before they started fighting with the good guys.
I was also not satisfied with the portrayal of Raiden.
Yeah, where's his white hair?
Like, if they'd have dropped Christopher Lambert in there and they'd have broke that staff, all them bitches would have died and he'd have choked Shang Tsung to death.
After he laughed.
And right when he got through choking him, he said, there could be only one and chop his damn head off.
I said, like, he's supposed to be God.
Word it to be him. But I do understand why they did it as well. So, I mean, it makes more sense for everybody to go like, oh, so this is a normal person from this time era. Then, I mean, could you imagine a Japanese man walking around with white hair? White, long, flowing
They
hair?
do it in plenty of movies.
Actually, yes. And gods are supposed to have white hair because...
Young or is he old, though?
Old.
Old.
The guy that was playing him was not old.
He's supposed to be, though. That's the point.
No. He's supposed to be old in how long he's lived. He's immortal, so he looks young forever. But he has white hair.
And that would look out of place.
No, because Japanese people, a lot of them have long black hair, or long hair too. It's not uncommon for them to have long hair.
Yeah, white hair.
That is because they're gods. Gods in the Japanese and Chinese lore
They're
both
trying
have
to,
white hair.
if they're trying to mix in and not stand out, that white hair is going to stand out.
He wears a fucking rice hat and he wears long clothes. He stands out already. And glowing eyes. He stands out already.
Notice he usually has his hat down. And he just walks around.
Yeah, with a staff and a fucking long robe. He can put the hair underneath the hat, at least.
Okay.
Hi, chat. Welcome to Grumpy versus Stealthy round 20,000. And we're going.
I tell you though, look, when the first time you see him,
Yeah.
what is the time period?
Late or early Japan.
Feudal Japan.
Yeah, feudal Japan.
They typically had staffs. They typically wore a hat.
He was still wearing it. He was still wearing it that day.
Yeah. In feudal Japan, he looks like a normal person that walks around. That doesn't mean that he's been out and about. He might have just decided he liked it and he's going to stay with it. I don't know.
Centuries.
Okay. There's no clear winner to this round. We're gonna have to do a repeat.
They changed so much. And Rain should have been one at least. He's my favorite character, so I have a lot of like a standpoint on like they at least could have given him at least white hair, not maybe like super long, like in the game, but at least white.
What they had done was what they did do in the movie, the first movie. It would have, I think, resolved the issue that you have with it and that you have with it. Remember, he was able to change his appearance.
Oh yeah, because he was going around and talk. Was it him?
Yes.
It was Raiden, was it? I
Yes.
cannot remember.
So if Raiden's able to do that, I think if they had done that, granted his eyes are never gonna go away because he could never change that, but at least that would have made it you guys feel a little better.
I think the animation on his eyes was better in the original movie, personally.
Yeah, well, yeah, they're supposed to be always glowing thunder eyes of sparks, but no reason in the original movie they may not did that because that simple CGI was probably costing him an arm and leg to do. Just for a quick second of lightning and glowing eye effect. Nowadays, it's like that can be made on the dime. So that was, yeah, we can do it all the time. Though my wife said like because she watched them a bunch of about this character in Mortal Kombat before we saw the movies, so she get an idea about the movies. So she kind of cheated. She was like, "Isn't Lord Radiant's eyes supposed to be always white and pure?" And like, yeah, but it didn't look bad. Like I still see his pupils, but I'm okay with that. Supposed to be always like a glowing white according to the games, but like
yeah, like a milky color.
Yeah, and like I could see why they went the other way. They went to see the guy's pupils, so they know where he's looking at instead of just looking at one direction and never knowing he's looking at you. It's like you have to see the pupils.
Are you talking to me?
I can't tell. Your eyes are where the fuck are they? So
he'd have to like every time he was actually specifically talking to somebody.
yeah, turn your head when you're talking to me, please. I'd like to know that you're looking at me. Also, Scorpion's eyes, were they supposed to be white as well? I forget.
I thought his eyes did the whole occasional flame thing.
Yeah.
And I saw his pupils. I'm like, is it supposed to be white? Is it supposed to be fire? I forget, but I'm okay with seeing his eyes. I'm just saying, like, from a character creation point of view, my mind was going, I don't think I'm supposed to be seeing his eyes right now.
That's what you're talking about, Scorpion.
Or not Scorpion, Sub-Zero, because Sub-Zero's was almost like white. Scorpion's was not.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were more of a golden flame color.
So my brain was from a character point. I was a little confused. Okay. Also, do you notice how like, at one point how short Scorpion was to Sub-Zero? I felt like he was a shorter, stouter guy, and Sub-Zero was a little taller. It's like David meets Goliath almost at one point. It was a little off-putting. I'm like, are they supposed to be the same height? So my brain was going kind of because the actors were taller than the other one, so it's like it still looked great.
They weren't that different. Like there was a difference that you can see, but you also have to remember in the original fight when they started, he was wearing all that stuff.
Yeah.
And then in the second fight, you notice they are almost equal.
I don't know, I feel like the head was like almost like this. I don't know. I liked it. I still give it a 7. Where would y'all give it? Individual votes, not the same.
I'm not answering.
No, we're asking. Would you give the vote? It's okay. It's okay. You like it. Just give it a score.
Like I've seen the reviews. It's like I found no problems with the movies. It was fine with me. Yes, there were errors, but
9, 10.
Yeah, probably like a 9. Obviously, you can't give it a 10 if there's errors, but
I would say I gave it an 8.
Give it an 8. Okay. So there was a few things that like I give a 7. So 7, 8, 9. We're about the same area here. I still IMAX. I got gypped. I know I got gypped. I was very upset that I spent that much money on an IMAX movie that wasn't even IMAX.
I will say this:
so
IMAX, you should have your ears about to.
Okay, hey, that 40X that you asked about, I looked that up.
Okay.
Okay, so what it is they literally have misters and fog machines and all that good stuff and wind machines, and if something's supposed to fly by on the screen, they blast you with a blast of air like the wind went by off of it. If fog's supposed to roll in the movie, it rolls in at your feet in the theater. If it's misting because like a water pipe broke or something, they missed. It's the whole total immersive thing.
So if you're on top of a train, I guess a lot of fans will be blowing. Or something like that. That would be...
Yeah, like if you're watching a hurricane, the wind's blowing, the mister's going, the fog's rolling in, and you're going, why am I rocking in my chair?
That sounds really nice. I would like to see that. Of course, how they would do that with an anime movie, I have no idea, but that was one of the things for Demon Slayer, which I told my wife I just want to steal the posters off the wall for Demon Slayer because I would have liked to take that home.
They only have very specific theaters.
Yeah, right now those theaters only exist in like California and Las Vegas,
Orlando.
Probably one in Japan somewhere. But that being Japanese,
so
that would be pretty cool to see that. I wouldn't lie. Okay, so Jasmine. So you have a little bit of change of pace here, but you've been doing a lot of new stuff of lately. And been changing up a few things. And you've been saving up a lot of money. What do you think about first, before we get too far, what do you think of the trailer for Demon Slayer?
I want to see it.
And when you're going to go see it?
I want to see it. I don't know when.
Corvo, get on it now. Come on now.
Okay. So... you tell me when we purchase tickets and we go.
The thing is, in June to Orlando, we have a chance, technically, of doing it in 40X.
Oh, yeah, we do.
Oh.
If it's still open.
Oh, that would be nice.
Yeah, definitely tell me about the experience if y'all see it in 40X. Of course, you got to make you got to make sure it's still in. I would imagine still be in theaters, but I don't know how much of the IMAX that they swap it around in there. That would be pretty nice. Of course, like, would you have to watch the entire movie to figure out what point to turn on the fans, or do you have someone like manually waiting for that scene to turn on thing to turn off? And
They probably give them like a list of what needs to be done,
Oh,
and then they have to follow it.
well, if you read the thing, it tells you like this movie was configured for IMAX and 4DX. If it's configured for 4DX, I imagine instead of getting like a hard copy of the movie like on a disc or something, they probably get a USB thumb drive that's preset.
Yeah,
to set all that crap off.
I would hope so, because I would hate for somebody to have be manually touching it and then they mess up on the timing for the moment, because that would break immersion pretty easy for me. Now, if y'all go see it like that, let me know. That'd be great to hear about it. If I ever get a chance to experience it myself. But you've got to experience something new yourself, Stealthy, and in some regards, but not in a lot of regards. You've been driving and delivering people's food, doing. I want to say it's I keep on to call it Grubhub, but is it what's yours? DoorDash. Okay, so how is DoorDash just different from being an Uber driver?
Okay. With DoorDash, basically all you do is you pick the order from the restaurant. Like, it'll say, "Hey, you got to order, go get it." So you go get it, and if it happens to have another order that's close by, like for example, if it's another store and it's going in the same general delivery area, you'll get it. It'll say like, "Hey, do you want to add X amount of money to the dash because you'll be delivering near that area anyway?" And you're like, "Sure," and you take it. You literally, depending on the order, either leave it at the door, take a picture of it, and walk away, or hand it directly to the customer, depending on what it is.
Now, do they do tips through the app?
Yes.
Okay, so you want to get tips like cash, because you're not going to be at the door going, "Here's your hopefully no COVID free food."
Well, I did get a tip the other day, but it was because literally the lady told me, "Hey, your tip is right there." I left it there, and I got a $5 tip in the chair. So, I mean,
Okay. So
Shit,
it
but
depends.
it's not just food though, right?
No, you can actually do shopping too.
shopping, like grocery shopping?
Yes, I've gone to Walgreens and CVS. Trying to make sure. Yeah, just Walgreens and CVS so far. To go shopping for families. I had one family that had a sick child last time I dashed, and the items that they were looking for was out. So I literally called them and tried to figure out how to help them to make sure that they still got what they needed.
So it's mostly over the counter, but not pharmacy stuff.
Well, it's not like. I mean, I think it's just that most people decide to get it from like Walgreens or CVS, because I know that some people have to go to like Walmart and
Okay.
stuff like that, depending on your area. So
I was thinking when you
I don't
said
know, I
that,
just haven't received one yet.
I was thinking when you said that, like maybe like they're ordering, like we can order stuff from Walmart and we can just go across the street and pick it up, at their pickup station and then drive home instead of having to go inside and grab all the items ourselves. We can literally just order it, go over there, throw it in our vehicles, and we can leave. I'm like thinking maybe they do that for you as well, because I know Target does it at some selected Targets.
No, you literally have to go in, find the items, and take them.
Ah,
Because I mean, if it was like that, it'd be much easier, because then I could just go up to go like, "Hey, I have this one," and they'll go like, "Okay, here's your items," and walk away. But no, you literally have to go in there, find the items. If you don't find them, let them know. Try to figure out what you're gonna do, and go from there.
so do they pay you first and then reimburse you, or is it just?
The only way you can do the shopping one is if you already have what's called the red card.
Yeah.
And basically, it's like a credit card.
Okay, so they do you pay for it with the card and they reimburse or
No.
No.
So it's literally a credit card for DoorDash. Except that you can't just use it whenever you want to, obviously. You'd have to wait until an order comes in, and then they put that X amount onto the card. And then you pay
Okay.
for it.
So it's kind of like a debit card.
Sort of.
Okay. I can see that. Okay. So, do you have any stories for DoorDash or for door dashing? Anything interesting?
I seen an old friend that I was not expecting to see.
It wasn't our hacker friend, by the way. What's the
No.
deal? No. Okay. Any new updates about the fake account?
No, I haven't received anything.
And has he found anything, Corvo? Have you honed in yet?
Yes, I found him. I have his address.
Okay, so what about your friend and where they? Okay, where they're located? Don't give me an address. Just give me location, like city.
No,
State.
how about this? I'll give you
State.
state, and it was Montana.
Montana. Don't know nobody from Montana. Never mind. I have no idea anybody from Montana.
But
It's not Pretty Eyes, is it?
no, but pretty eyes handled it for us.
Oh, he's scared of us still?
Yeah.
So is the council up? Because I have not looked myself.
I haven't looked lately, but I do know that a friend of mine should have showed up at that address probably a day or two ago.
Okay. Awkward. That conversation was.
Yeah, well, this friend has no qualms about playing whatever character he needs to play, albeit, whatever he'll play whatever sexuality you want him to play or whatever to get the job done. This
Which is why
this
Pretty Eyes
this
does not like us.
this particular character was a little bit brutish and threatening.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, quick lowdown. Someone made a fake account of Stealthy, like they made of mine, and they were using a fake account to direct people to Stealthy's channel, but using that as a means to get new viewers on their channel by a redirectional link. And then when they were done, they were going to take all Stealthy's new followers that she got while that link was going to bolster their channel, and then they could change it around and start their channel that way rather than just earning it themselves. So we have tried to stop that, and it's happened to me before 3 times. Technically four, but 2 of them had my name and my logo, and 2 of them had just my name. And then one of them disappeared, and there was 3, and then the other one disappeared, and there was 2, and then eventually both of those went.
Now I'm curious.
So yeah, that was a
He's gonna check it now.
Yeah. Okay. So while he's checking Stealthy, I want you to tell us a very, very well-known story from your Ubi driver days. Now, for those who are my channel know this story probably a little well, and this is actually like one of my still to this day one of my biggest clips on my Twitch channel for people to watch was the card. You get a card. You get a card. Everybody gets a card.
Your page.
So yeah, go ahead, and I want you to start off by as early as the beginning of the story. Try to skip around too much. If you can't very much too much details, it's all right. But try to really impact it. So.
Okay, so try to be impactful. Gotcha.
Cause you relive the moment. I relive the moment.
Oh God. All right, so
Yes,
I had
the good D.
gone over to the yes, Lord, that story. That story. That's the story.
I don't.
Since I'm watching this, I'm gonna have to hear the story now.
I don't see the account.
Winner.
Here. There's a link to it on my
Discord.
It was a show off closet because we were looking at it. Yeah.
Share him the link.
I'm having trouble. Give me a second. Move. What the hell?
One moment, chat. One moment. She's trying to get the link for those who don't understand. One of my usual viewers and became a part of the family that we have build over my and Stealthy's career of being a Twitch streamer. He discovered this by trying to find out one of her channels so he can get the sub to her channel, and then in doing so, when he was trying to get the sub to her channel, he found
It's
there's
so loud.
another channel's name.
They got kicked! Yes!
They found another channel with the Stealthy same name, logo, and using their BRB screen or offline screen. So, and she got a link to it, and now the link is gone. So, good. So,
All right,
no more of that problems.
Do your story.
Okay. Alright, so you know what would have been really good? I have a Wii steering wheel here in the house somewhere.
No,
I could have used it right.
come on. You're stalling.
So I went and picked them up from a local. It's not really a bar. It's more like a restaurant with bar stuff in it.
Him or them?
Them. So I went and picked them up. It was 2 ladies and a guy, and the lady that did it had taken them out to have a fun time, and knew that they needed to drive back.
What time of the night was this?
2 or 3 in the morning.
Woo! That's okay.
Yeah. They've been drinking. I mean, so I'm driving them back, and they're way out there. They're like down in the boonies almost, and because they were doing training with dogs, from what I'm understanding, and so the 2 girls are relatively okay. The guy, I thought for like the longest time he was gonna puke in the car.
Mm.
He was not doing well. He fell asleep too. And the girl's like, hey, do you have any way to put it over here, the music, blah, blah, blah. I was like, no, but if you connect your phone, if you want to play music, you can. So they hooked it up. And then she said that the second girl, not the one that ordered the ride, said that she was starting to get kind of like she was going to throw up because she was getting hot. So I lowered the window so she could cool off. And it's cold. I mean, it's like December. It's like you're going like, ah.
Mm-hmm.
And we're riding along, and the guy has fallen asleep, and then he kind of wakes up. And he goes like, hey, where are we at? We're going home. Well, what home is right now, says the first girl. And he goes like, oh, okay, well, I can't wait to get one of you in the shower with me. And I was just going like, okay, we're just going to drive. We're all good. And he goes like, yes, I can't wait to get you into the, everybody needs a good dick. And I'm going like, we're going to leave that alone. We're not touching that. Then,
You're the Uber driver. You're not there to have a conversation with them. You're just
exactly. Conversation. But this time I was like, y'all are good. You have each other. You're good. I'll just drive you there. And the first girl goes like, I ain't interested in getting in the shower with you. I don't need your good dick. I got good dick. Blah, 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 blah. And we're still driving. The first girl's just ignoring them as much as she can. She's the most sober of the 2. Of the 2 girls and of the 3. And she's just like, I'm sorry. And I'm like, it's okay. It'll be fine. We'll just get there, and they'll do what they have to do. And she's like, yeah, we'll get there. And then so the second girl's rocking out in the back to music. The other guy is just talking about how we all deserve good dick. We all need to partake in his good dick because it's amazing good dick.
Did he go into details, or you just go just good, just good? It's good. That's all that
I'll
matters.
treat you right. I've got a good dick. You'll never want another man after me. I've got good dick. Blah 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 blah. I'm gonna like.
Okay, so
Okay.
at what point did he start thinking, let's engage with the driver?
So we're almost there. We're about 5 minutes from where I'm gonna drop him off at. And he goes to the girl and reaches over, and he goes to her and goes like, hey, on her shoulder, you sure you don't want to come to bed with me? Blah, 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 blah. And she's like, no, I'm good. We're good. I think you just need to sleep. Just trying to be nice, trying to be kind. And he's like, well, it's okay. About that time, he reaches around my seat, gets a hold of me, has my neck pressed into the headrest, and I'm going like, oh my god. And I'm feeling the pressure. I'm just like, I had one hand on it. I was just kind of like, I did like this because I couldn't get him off. Like, the only way I could get him off was if I had used both hands, and I can't do that. I'm driving. I'm going 50 miles down the road. Like I said, they were out in the bennies. And he's like, "It's okay. She'll have me." And I'm like, "No, I'm good. Can you He's like, "No, it's okay. You need some good dick too." I'm like, "No. I'm good. I'm good. I promise you. I'm good. Can you get your hand?" And about that time, the other girl noticed. She's like, "Oh my god!" She's like, reaches over, yanks him off me, and he's like, "Oh, I'm so sorry. I didn't realize I had you like that." And that she's like, "You're gonna make our Uber driver crash." He's like, "Well, I'm sure she just needs to get dick." And I'm like, "Look, I'm married. I'm good. I'm good." He's like, "Oh no, I'll make you want to just go ahead and leave him. I've got the good dick." I'm going like, and then one of the other girls, he was like, "Look, I've seen that thing, and it ain't that good."
At no point, like, I could have sworn I remember you telling me at one point. He goes, "I'm gonna give you all the good dick." That part, I was cracking up laughing.
Yeah.
He just gets like, "I'm giving all of you, just one of
You
you."
don't understand. I can give you all the really good dick. I promise. Y'all just need to all come back to the room with me. And we just like all looked at each other. We're like, no.
Okay, I had to ask. Like, I know you're a happy married woman and you have a great man,
Yeah.
but like, was this guy at least like? Did he at least have some redeemable features to him, other than just being a drunk? Like, was he one of those people like goofy as can be looking, and he's just like he's feeling really good about himself now because he just got really drunk and he's around pretty women? Like, what made this guy go decide the only good feature I can talk about right now is my dick?
I mean, he was kind of funny. That's about the
Best redeeming
like,
feature.
I don't want to like. I don't know him. I really don't know him. We get to where like I drop him off, and I'm just like, "Okay, you guys have a good night." He's like, "Okay, I'm sorry again that I did that again with the arm," and I'm just like, "Okay, yes, you too. Just can you go?" Sorry. I'm like, "Don't worry."
I have to say that's be one of the fears I would have being an Uber driver is somebody like assaulting me while I'm driving.
I just
she had something in the center console that would have got him off of her permanently if needed.
Yeah, like when like taxi cabs at least have like some plexiglass protecting them between the driver and the passenger. Uber drivers just like it's a no hold bar. I would be afraid of somebody like no ideas out there, but like like some Uber massacre person going around there, taking a cab, taking an Uber. And then that would be my afraid of like being that one person in the vehicle with possibly a serial killer in the back of my seat. And he's make me drive out the middle of nowhere to get dropped off.
Because I had a knife in my pocket and I had something in the center console that I'm not going to disclose. But
yeah, but not everybody has that center console. And of course, sometimes if you try to get it out and you try to, you're driving, it's unless you're gonna, turn around, but then you're not paying attention to the road. I don't know.
Yeah, well, I mean, and that's why I was like, I was going about, like I said, 55 mile an hour going down that road. That's what the speed limit. No, that's the speed limit. That's
okay.
How far out
I remember Corvo telling you had a lead foot, so.
Yeah, that wasn't the lead foot. That was that 55 mile an hour street because of how far out it was. Like I said, it was a country road.
Mm-hmm.
After we dropped them off, I'm like, "Okay, I can leave. We're all good. No more good dick." He's like, "Just remember, you just missed out on having good dick." And he starts leaving. And right about then, I backed up, turned around to leave, make sure that nobody's like behind me. He drops trowel.
Oh, yeah. This is the part that happened. Right?
I didn't see anything.
I know,
from the front.
Yeah.
I didn't see anything from the back except ass. And that is forever embedded in my mind. I don't want to remember it. Honestly, it was not.
And then he goes,
amazing.
I can give you all the good dick.
Yeah, that was the point he gives. Yeah, that was like, could never remember when it happened, but that was the point. He just dropped trap, gonna give everybody a good dick. He just yachts it down. And my brain would immediately like, I'm
And
just,
the girls are all like looking away trying to pull his face.
he's just like, gonna give everybody a calling card. You get a dick. You get a dick. Good dick. Good dick.
Why?
It's like, I guess you're in the middle of the country. You don't give a shit because, you know, who's to see you? But, you know, if you're plastered, you might do that in public too.
I never, that's what it was. And she's like, you know.
So, how about those Braves?
They're amazing.
We're not going to talk about public indecencies.
Yeah, it's just like, well, that's the last time I heard anything about your Uber driving, or at least for a long time.
The problem with me doing the Uber driver right now is the fact that I would have to get the car cleaned up.
Mm-hmm.
And cleaned up to what I think should be at, which is nice so that I don't have to worry about it. My children don't do that. And
No.
I know you're watching. Yes, I'm talking about you. You make a mess in my back seat, and then you just leave it there. And I clean it up and do it again.
What are kids if they don't do that kind of stuff? Right? What are kids if they don't do that kind of stuff? I do feel that was a very, very interesting time. I try to do it one myself, but then I found out that you can't drive a car with suicide doors on it, my truck. So I'm like, okay, that's out. My PT, it's, yeah.
They open this way instead of that way.
Yeah, but it also, like, you had to open up one door to open up the other one. So like if they were in my vehicle, I would literally have to open up one door, then open up the other door for them to get in. So it's like, that's not good for them. And then when I try, like, well, my PT is like, well, my wife loves her PT, but I'm not driving that thing around. It's been with us for a long time, and it has its wear and tear showing on its sleeve now. And it's also the PT, so let's
PT cruisers are PT cruisers.
yes, they are. They're good on gas mileage, but that's about it. So it's not a
Now, if you want me to drive a Prowler and pick you up, I'll be happy to do that.
yeah. So and of course
No, babe. I want that PT Cruiser. Don't you understand? I want that PT Cruiser.
That's what you wanted, right?
That's what my daddy said.
He's so full of shit.
yeah. And then my the people that could hit my truck and taxi, if the little short story here, the taxi driver hit my vehicle at night, apparently got blinded, sideswiped my parked truck in front of my apartment, and now they're dodging the insurance. So I hope that don't have to come down to a court system, but I have a feeling that it might come down to court system, and if so, I'm taking them for everything I can. Anyways, so let's see if anything else happened. Let's see. Oh, I know most of you here are just here, but I know podcasts have not seen it. I got done making my new soundboard, made with soundproof insulation and, of course, wood and a wall scroll. Isn't it nice? So I don't know if I'm gonna do more of these, but I don't know if I'm will put any of these on Etsy. I'm thinking about making one and trying to see if somebody on Etsy may like it, see how it goes, because I think these are pretty cool. I know, Corvo, you'd probably like this, or at least that one, at least.
Yeah, I dare you to put it up there and see how fast it gets sold.
I'm kind of curious about what sell. I really don't know. Like, it's.
Why are you looking at me?
I would make y'all one. Just give me the wall scrolls and wood, and I got it.
Thing is,
Why?
the hard thing is it's hard to find wall scrolls here.
Oh yeah, I found them on Amazon. So
It's mostly posters.
it would have to be by order if I did it on Etsy. Like, it have to be by order, because I would have to, like, okay, what wall scrolls you want? Okay, is it made out of cloth? All right, and I gotta order it. Wait for it to get shipped in, especially if it's coming from, like, you know, out of country. And then I have to make sure I have the wood. I have the insulation. After that is just set it off. And
What are you saying?
Soundproofing. What brand soundproof insulation?
We can talk about that off stream because I don't want to give that away because then no one would be interested.
I hope he's not using like attic
No,
insulation because that shit fucking itches.
no.
It's a very specific, it's been used in professional stuff before. So that's why I found out about it, and then I'm like, well, I can just do it myself.
Because like roofing insulation sucks.
So yeah, we'll talk about that after the podcast. So I don't want nobody here to go, oh, I want you to make me one. Well, if I tell you all the materials, you just go make it yourself. So, but I don't mind sharing with y'all.
Ask me something about DoorDash and a ban.
And a ban? Oh, your mom's ban from door dashing because she forgot or she didn't know about something. And okay, so DoorDash sends you a care package.
It's not a care package per se. It's more of this is what you need to be able to DoorDash so that you can do it effectively, make the most money. And to make sure that obviously the clients are happy. So they send you a thermal bag. So the food is warm or cold, depending.
Mm-hmm.
And then they also send you like a little plastic sheet. It's supposed to be like a little blanket.
Mm-hmm.
And you get a mask and you get some hand sanitizer along with the red card that I was telling you about earlier.
Yeah.
Well, they told my mom that they had sent it, but she never actually tracked it. I, on the other hand, when somebody says, "Oh yeah, you're being sent something," I track shit. I'm like that. So I was tracking mine, actually seeing exactly where it went until it eventually got to me. She never tracked hers, so she never got hers. Because she didn't have it, they gave her a ban. She's not allowed to do it. Hers comes in.
Now, did she ever get the bag, or is it still lost in forever time?
I think she recently got the bags and stuff because she said that she's back to it, or at least my sister told me that. So
did she have to reorder one, or is it just
she had to let them know that it never got to her?
Okay, I have my theories what happened to that bag, but I'm not gonna say them. But I think you know what I'm saying here. Like I think that bag got to her, but it didn't get to her. If that makes any sense. But I could be wrong.
The other thing is, even if somebody did take the bag and stuff, they can't use it.
Well, yeah.
No, that's not what he
not
means.
The bag, the red card.
They don't want them to use it.
Yeah, like it got there, but it didn't get there because someone is the way they are.
Yes and no. Because if one thing we are very, at least the kids are, we're nosy.
Yeah, but the one person that's
the person he's insinuating is not the kids.
It's not the kids.
Know. What I'm saying is they wouldn't have been hidden that long.
Oh, wow. Oh yeah, gotcha. So someone would eventually found it.
Yes, we would have sniffed it out.
Or they haven't found it yet.
No, because it had been almost 3 weeks.
3 weeks?
Yeah, I would have found that within a week. And if my kid, sister, and brother are anything like me, because they are,
did y'all check the garbage can often?
No, it's not that. It's because he would never have thrown that away. He knows better. Yeah.
Possibly you'd known better, but man seemed a little bit of eccentric. So yeah.
But no, if he had done that, he knows what I mean.
Wait, yeah, I'm answering here something from Lord Pestis. Yeah, green screen is also some people have done that. They literally have done that, Pest. And they just put it on the wall and then stand in front of it. The only problem is it would be the noticeable seam unless you make it one huge frame and then you have to pack that thing like several times and yeah, like you could do it. You just have to make it really big because if you're making it in like things I do frame by frame by frame, there would be seams that you would notice it. But yeah, I have a feeling, but I could be wrong. I'm just saying, just possibility. Never made it, but didn't make it. And I do feel like I would like to do Uber driving myself because, like, I'm a streamer, but I do have free time.
Mm.
And I'm always trying to find something to do. But again, nowadays I've been printing so many things. I can't wait to finish this up. Got my air gun in back in the other day, so I hopefully we'll be able to start working on this a little bit. Of course, I'm not very good with fine detail painting, but I'm hoping to learn. Cause
So, what I would recommend if you're going to do Uber
mm,
is to do whatever is like the most common drinking nights. I know that sounds weird, especially considering that, drinking is probably when people have less inhibition. But there's more likely going to be Ubers at that point.
let's say I probably couldn't do Uber. I had to probably do DoorDash because my suicide doors.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That doesn't matter.
that-
DoorDash, as long as you got a car that works, they don't care.
All that matters. So yeah, DoorDash would probably be my safer bet.
As long as the car works, there's nothing wrong with it. You're good.
What would you say you get paid more for? Do you get paid more for Uber or you paid more for DoorDash? I'm not worried about the money. I'm just saying, like, is it comfortable?
It depends. Like, for example, I got paid more with Uber within 1 weekend, within 2 weeks or 2 days. I got like $1,300. But then again, that was because, like I said, this is like at night, me picking up people, taking them home because they're drunk.
Okay, so they're more willing to pay a little bit more because of the.
Not precisely. For example, I made almost $90 off of one drive because of the fact that I had to go from where we live here in Thomasville.
Yeah.
All the way to Tallahassee.
I had no idea how far that is, but I'm assuming that's pretty
a
far.
good 30-minute ride.
And
That's a good 30. That's a good 30 to 40-minute ride.
Is it on top of gas, or is that okay? So it wasn't just $90 and then you take gas out of that. It was on top of the gas like they're already paying for.
Like, so they pay you the base rate per I don't remember what it is anymore. It was like per every either mile or point something miles you get like X amount of change.
Mm-hmm.
And then you also get tips. So I mean,
and I imagine they would probably go up in price each time gas goes up and down, right? Because they wouldn't want to fork out more money when the gas is lower, and they wouldn't want to fork out less money when the gas is higher. Because then
exactly.
person would be interested in driving because the gas has gone up in price and I'm making the same amount of money. That would be a bit of a problem. So pay attention to that. Did they make you go to certain like gas stations? Like, hey, you have to go to this one. No?
Mm-mm.
Okay.
They just recommend go ahead and be filled up when you first start. If you find yourself getting low, pause it, which you can do both for DoorDash, Uber, and Lyft. You can pause it and
video game. Pause. It's like a video game. Just pause. I'll get back to you later.
More like hey, look, I need a few minutes because I need to do this, and then you can do it. Okay. Like I had to pause DoorDash recently because it was, and he knows because it was pouring fucking rain Saturday, and it was soaking. We had tornado warnings and watches and severe thunderstorm warnings and watches all like for 2 or 3 hours, and I was still doing it because it wasn't so bad that you couldn't drive, but it was bad enough. And but when I first went out, it hadn't started yet. I came home after like 3 deliveries because I was like, I need to change clothes. I need to find an umbrella. This is bad. I was soaked. And I'm just looking at my husband. I'm like, help. Like, my hair was all straight and nice. And yeah, Saturday just took it away.
I bet
it's so pretty. It's so nice and pretty from when I went to the shop. And it's
ruined.
Water. And then my hair does its usual thing and goes.
Every woman. All right, so That's usual. And okay, 13 by 9. I don't know. I'm sure you could do that. I'm pretty sure it wouldn't be that hard. But anyways, let's go ahead and wrap this up. I will go ahead and say thank you for those who came by and chilled out with us today. If you're new here or old, be sure to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, help out the channel grow. We'd like to get to 100. The idea of the maybe doing a charity stream or a giveaway stream or not stream, but a giveaway video, whatever, is still up in the air. So help us get those stretch goals, 100 or at least 200. For every 100, we'll go a step above our last goals to make it better and hoping make it more interesting. So be sure to get that in there. This is live every Wednesday at 5 p.m. Central American time. So you want to start here, be here at the beginning of the stream. That's time when we start up. So again, be here. Be sure to share this with your family, friends. Share this on Twitter. Share this on Facebook. Get this around. Help us out a lot. And as always, okay, this is I got one thing I want to start. Of course, what was the other thing we were talking about? Oh yeah, to talk about the materials. We can do that afterwards. But anyways, y'all have a good day. Have a good night. As always, have a good life. Much love, y'all. And